Good morning, everybody. This is Tom Osa from Rockland News, and you are listening to AM Rockland. We just had a great interview with John Ross from Rocklanders for Alternatives to Driving. Check out that podcast, but right now we're going to get right into the news. Weekend ferry service returns between Haverstraw and Ossining from May 24th through October 12th. Weekend ferry service between Haverstraw and Ossining is back, operating from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The ferry offers a scenic and convenient way to explore Ossining and nearby Hudson River towns. Visitors can enjoy dining at waterfront favorites like Three Westerly and the Boathouse, grab a local brew over at Here Coffee and Beer, or take in a performance at the Westchester Collaborative Theater. Additional attractions include Sing Sing Kill Brewery, the Sing Sing Kill Greenway, and the Old Croton Aqueduct Trail. Free parking is available at the Haverstraw Terminal with easy Metro North access to towns like Tarrytown, Peekskill, and Sleepy Hollow. On the flip side, coming back into Rockland, you have great attractions in Rockland County. Lucas Candies, they have the great tavern right in the middle of the village of Haverstraw. Plus, you have a variety of different shopping opportunities over at the Palisades Mall and the newly rebranded Town Center, the Nanuet Town Center in Nanuet, New York. And there's a variety of great activities that are happening. A good example of that are the Haverstraw activities, for instance, the watch fires. And we're going to have a segment of that with Supervisor Howard Phillips coming out today on the AM Rockland show. Lane reopens on Palisades Parkway after fiery crash. A lane on the southbound Palisades and Ramapo reopened following a serious crash yesterday that occurred. Apologies, that's Wednesday. Occurred around 3 p.m. on Wednesday, May 21st. The incident involved a vehicle fire and caused injuries, temporarily closing all southbound lanes near exit 12, and authorities have yet to release further details. The Rockland County YMCA is inviting community members to its 16th annual golf outing on Thursday, June 6th at the Philip J. Rotella Memorial Golf Course. The event starts at 8 a.m. and includes breakfast, a 9 a.m. shotgun start, and a barbecue lunch provided by Lynch's on the Green. Funds raised support scholarships for youth programs and summer camps. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Rockland County is launching a mentor recruitment drive and calling on local businesses for support. The nonprofit seeks volunteers to mentor youth and invites businesses to host awareness events and fundraisers. Interested mentors must be 18 and over, licensed drivers, and able to commit 4 hours monthly for more than 1 year. You can contact Sarah Aris at SARRAS at bbbsofrc.com for more information, and we'll be posting this on Rockland News on the Today tab, rocklandnews.com/today. Coming fresh off of the Garner Arts Festival this past Saturday and Sunday, Rockland County has secured $87,000 extra for the Garnerville Arts Project to replace windows in one of its gallery spaces. The award supports ongoing revitalization of the Garner Historic District, where President and CEO Robin E. Rosenberg also serves as a Mid-Hudson Regional Economic Council member. And congratulations again to Robin as well as Miles, who deployed another successful Garner Arts Festival. We had a great time. We showed up with our small entourage, hung out, checked out the paintings, checked out like 3 or 4 bands, checked out the food trucks, checked out the Babbling Brook where everybody was hanging out and checking out the artwork. It was just a really cool, interesting, and fun time as always. Kudos to that. And finally, Rockland County is hosting public workshops to gather input on its updated comprehensive plan for land use and development. I was a little bit non-succinct about this when we did the news yesterday at 5 o'clock in the morning. But County Executive Ed Day is emphasizing the importance of resident feedback to shape a sustainable and inclusive future. And workshops begin May 21st. This past May 21st at the Palisades Mall. And that's actually incorrect. There already have been 2 individual comprehensive plan meetings for the public to attend. So one was over at the New City Library. I attended that about a month and a half to 2 months ago. And then there was another one about 2 weeks ago over at the Haverstraw Center. And that was, I mean, the Warriors came out for that because it was raining, it was pouring, and it's really cool. You go there, though, at these comprehensive plan meetings, and they have boards all over and they have sticky notes. So there's a different question at each individual station. It's like, hey, what do you want transportation to be like in Rockland, say, for instance, in the next 10 years, 20 years? What do you want our parks to feel like? What do you want what sort of density of residential development do you think is good for the county? And it's a big question right now. So they really are, in my opinion, looking for audience participation from the residents of Rockland County. And all of that information will be aggregated and collected and analyzed. And hopefully, we'll have some really good comprehensive decisions for plans, the master plan for Rockland County for, say, the next 10, 15 years. I mean, the last one was done in 2011. If you're looking to learn more or check out the schedule, you can catch envisionrockland.com. You can head over there right now, and there is a list of the upcoming events. So we mentioned the May 21st one. Wednesday, May 21st, we had it over at the Palisades Mall. I shouldn't say we. I'm not on the Envision Rockland board. Envision Rockland, duly authorized to put these meetings together, had this event over at the Palisades Mall. Okay. But there's three more that are coming up. For instance, Wednesday, May 28th, there's going to be another event by Envision Rockland in Stony Point at the Patriot Hills Senior and Community Center. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. We will likely be there. Also, Thursday, May 29th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., the Rockland County Fire Training Center. There's going to be a meeting there. That's in Pomona. And finally, Thursday, June 5th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at St. Thomas Aquinas College, located in Spark Hill, New York. And again, you can catch this schedule completely at envisionrockland.com. Turning our sights over to the weather, and again, as I've been reporting all week, and I should note that my soon-to-be co-host on the show, Mike, who was on the show on Wednesday, you got to catch this episode because it was a really good yin-yang conversation between me and him. But, he can do this better than I can. But this is the weather, at least from what I see on the screen. It's raining, obviously, you could tell. Friday, 56 degrees, kind of rainy, damp, and like blah, Seattle. Saturday, 58 degrees. Rainy, blah, Seattle. I hope Seattle doesn't come over here and say, we're mad at you, and you shouldn't say that on the live stream airwaves. They're not going to care because it's Seattle. All right, Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, all right, Memorial Day weekend, the closure of it is going to be sunny. Woohoo! Sunday is going to be 65 degrees, and Monday, maybe a little barbecuing action early on in the day. I'm looking forward to it myself. Monday, 68 degrees, so you're going to have to bundle up a little bit, but at least there's going to be some sunshine, aka, here comes the sun. I can't sing, and that's why other people are going to do this segment. The weather, Tuesday, it's going to be 70 degrees and sunny, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, 66, 71, 72 degrees, cloudy, rainy. But again, we're going to have that reprieve in the middle of the weekend, Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day weekend. And I would be behest if I did not say we want to thank and honor those that gave up their lives to protect this country. So Memorial Day weekend, we're all going to be hanging out and barbecuing and having a good time. But muchos kudos, as I say, for everyone that we give appreciation to on the Rockland News broadcast. Thank you to those that gave their lives to protect this country. All right, so that is all the weather for the weekend. I want to thank our many, many sponsors for helping to make this first 2 weeks of the AM Rockland show a reality. I didn't expect this to happen, but I really am appreciative. And we got a great team in the background that's really organizing this, but I'm just going to this time, and you're going to hear people that are a lot better than me that deliver these vocal, explanations about stuff and thank yous and kudos and everything. But let me just read off the list of our supporters and sponsors. Literally over the last 2 weeks, we have a bunch of new sponsors that have been helping out. So first of all, I want to thank Deborah Thomas from Rocklands Works, the Workforce Development Board of Rocklands, and the Rockland Teachers Center. They are supporters of what we're doing, not just here on AM Rocklands, not just on the Rockland News podcast, but also on rocklandsnews.com. Thank you for supporting what we're doing. The North Rockland Chamber of Commerce, they have been really helpful over the last 15, 18 years for me in growing my business. And for those of you that are looking to grow your business, if you're a startup, if you're just listening to this while you are, let's just say, hanging out, figuring out, like, what do I do first in order to grow my business? Check out northrocklandchamber.com. We got some really great activities, networking events, advocacy with your local elected officials, as well as networking mixers and some breakfast meetings. We have a little thing, a side note, Small Business Tuesday at the Stony Point Pancake Factory, located in Stony Point, New York. And Stony Point Pancake Factory is also now a supporter of Rocklands News. I mentioned the Rockland Teacher Center. I mentioned Rockland Teach. In the realm of education, we also have Regents Review, celebrating 20 years of service to those that are looking to attain higher education through the variety of testings that happen. And I'm heading over to pasttheregents.com. There's a nifty article on Rockland's News about this. They have been preparing students for New York State Regents exams since 1976. And start out as a basement cram session with a teacher, and some students over 40 years ago have now emerged into New York's leading one-day boot camp review, not only for Regents exams, for advanced placement exams and SAT, ACT exams. You could check them out at pasttheregents.com. Thank you for being a supporter of Rocklands News. We have Ivy Rehab, located in West Haverstraw, New York. Y'all were one of the first ones that hopped onto the Rockland News podcast. And Nick, Dr. Nick, thank you very much for supporting Rockland News. Of course, we have the Rocklands Music Festival up and coming September 27th. It's going to be our 11th festival that we've done in a row. First branded as Stony Music Fest, now bringing it over to the stadium. And we're going to have a great time over there. And the leading headlining band is Magical Mystery Doors. They play Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and Doors music. It's an amazing thing. You can catch all the information about this great concert at rocklandsmusicfest.com, and tickets are on sale now. Rockland Web Design, that's our team over at Rockland Web Design. That's my first company, 18 years and going. We got an amazing team that handles things. I want to give special kudos out to Amir, who has been kicking butt working in project management. Ilana, who has been doing these voiceovers and advertisements and videos. Pedro, amazing graphic design. Sean, account representative, making sure all of our clients are happy and moving forward in their businesses. There's just so many that I can. BJ, who's handling web development components. I should also mention Jeffrey, who's been doing amazing video. I could go on and on. There's such a list, but those are the ones that come to mind. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but I'm really appreciative of the work that you're doing. And it also makes Rocklands News a better digital publication. Yabu Fence Company. Yabu Fence has been with us as a client on the Rocklands web design side for about 12 or 13 years, and now they are advertisers on Rocklands News. They have these great Adirondack chairs if you catch it at yabufence.com, and they're offering them for a discount right now. If you want to do fire pit or hang out in the backyard, you got to have a really cool, fun, and comfortable, solid chair to hang out with your family and friends, and you can order them at yabufence.com. 845-358-0118, or visit them on the web at yabufence.com. Kobe Sushi, they are celebrating a grand opening approximately 1 week from today. I believe it is on May 30th, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to pause to get that exact date because we will be there. It's going to be a grand opening, and it is May 31st, a Saturday. Kobe Sushi Lounge. They now have two different locations right next to each other, right? They got the traditional restaurant, which is beautiful, by the way. I've been there several times. Now they've opened up an additional on the right hand side of the original restaurant, and it's a music lounge. Yes, it is a music lounge. Indeed, we will be there. Only 80 tickets are available. It's first come, first served. And they're also going to offer authentic Japanese bites. You're going to be able to savor signature dishes. There's going to be a welcome drink that Kobe Sushi gives to each guest. It's going to be a Kobe special drink. And also, there's going to be a jazz band there. We're not going to mention that yet, but it's a special guest. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of awesome, really chill live music over the weekends over at Kobe Sushi. You can catch them on the web at kobenewcity.com, and note that you can order online right from their website. You could also download their app in order to get key discounts on various sushi. And I am a big fan of sushi, and I know my wife is, and we are going to have a really great time next Saturday, May 31st. Who else do we got? We also have Sparkling Clean Homes. Oh my goodness, if you're looking to get your home cleaned really nicely, efficiently, kind of like declutter, and this isn't like something where you have to just overthink it, but Sparkling Clean Homes, they are obsessive about making sure that environments inside the home are nice and clean and everything is organized, vacuuming of the rugs, making sure that all of the furniture is neat and orderly, even decluttering so that you could take papers around the house and turn them into digital documents that you can organize on your computer. Yes, they do that as well. So head over to Sparkling Clean Homes, and you could call them right now to get an estimate on what it would take in order for your home to be better condition, and it really creates a really nice warm. We use Sparkling Clean Homes. I could tell you from experience here, and they're really good at what they do, and they're very reasonably priced, like really reasonably priced. I personally think too reasonably priced, but hey, whatever they're doing, they're doing it quite well. So Sparkling Clean Homes, you could call them at 845-641-3223. And they don't, I asked them if they want a website. I was like, no, just have them call us. We'll take care of it. Really, really nice people over at Sparkling Clean Homes. There's more. FZ Perfection. I know this turned into like a whole thank you to sponsors thing, but you can tell I'm really passionate and appreciative for the people that have supported this publication. So, obviously, hopefully you appreciate it as well. But FZ Perfection, awesome auto body experts. Whether you have a Yugo or a Lamborghini, they can get that car working in perfect condition on the outside and making sure that everything is well structured, especially if you're in an accident, hopefully not a serious one, but FZ Perfection can get that car back to the way it was when you perhaps drove it right off of the parking lot the first time that you purchased it. So you can catch them at fzperfection.com. That's my friend Frank over there. And I should also note that Frank he's really good dude. We had lunch a few times, and he really just, he just has a really good team over at FC Perfection. And they also are able to work with various insurance plans that you may have. They'll talk with the insurance adjusters on your behalf because they work for you, not for the insurance companies. Banchetto Feast, located in Nanuet, New York. And I know I go way back with Eddie, the owner over there. He's a fantastic dude. I remember him when we had Banchetto Feast actually in the Nanuet Mall. And this is before the newly rebranded Nanuet Town Center. This is before the shops at Nanuet. We had the Nanuet Mall. And Eddie held it down. Like the Nanuet Mall, whoever owned the Nanuet Mall back then, they wanted to buy out Eddie and his restaurant, which was inside of the mall. And he held on for years. I got the chance to talk with him afterwards, and he was very happy that he was able to get through the fire, and basically be able to come out with an amazing restaurant. And he's got great chefs over there. It's a lively Italian atmosphere, very elegant as well. We've held networking meetings there. The Nanuet Chamber of Commerce is very active over there. So Eddie is just a really cool dude. And he also did me a favor. Like one time I didn't have my car and he drove me back. Really good guy. Salt of the earth kind of guy. Put it this way, if you're going to have Italian food and you got to trust salt in somebody's hands, leave it to Eddie. He and his team over at Banchetto Feast can do amazing culinary arts while you're enjoying a lively atmosphere. You can catch them at Banchetto Feast. I believe that the domain name, I checked this the other day, I know I'm getting off script once again. This is the web address is banchettorestaurant.com. And you can also order online from there. The phone number is 845 624 3070. Next up, we have my pal John Sandak from Outsource My IT. He doesn't want me to say I'm his pal, but he's just a really good guy. But the other flip side of this is that he is very knowledgeable in his area of expertise, and that is making sure that your computers, your workstations, your devices, and the team over at Outsource My IT can make sure that your systems are running perfectly. A good example of this, he's able to give you a comprehensive plan on how to make sure that your organization is protected from the perspective of cyber security. There are so many threats out there: phishing emails, security breaches, hacks, viruses. Forget about it. You don't want to even know. But these guys are on the front lines of making sure that their customers' devices are well protected, well structured, and well supported. You can visit them on the web at outsourcemyit.com. Ask for John Sandak. He knows what he's doing. Tony D'Elia from CleanSpace. I was just talking with him over at the BSPN meeting yesterday, and he runs CleanSpace. You can catch him on the web at cleanspacemmc.us. They're located in Orangeburg, New York. They are local. They're family owned with over 30 years of experience helping declutter houses. They have trailers and trucks that they can bring by. And if you're trying to get a few rooms all cleaned up, you could just take all the stuff outside, drop it in the trailer, and very reasonable rates. Tony and the team over at CleanSpace will get it over to the, let's say, for instance, Rockland Green, where the items will be properly disposed of, bring it to recycling, sometimes donated to good organizations. So he's got a really good experience taking care of things. And he's another salt of the earth guy. He's a really good dude that I like talking with and getting along with. So, Tony, thank you very much for supporting Rockland News over these past 6 months. And we look forward to great and interesting things with you. I know Alana is going to be working on several different, quite frankly, influencer ads. And hopefully you and the team over at CleanSpace will find it to be a good representation of the CleanSpace brand. So you can catch them at cleanspacemmc.us. Next up, we have North Rockland Chiropractic. This is Anna Marie. I have to tell you, she is my spine savior. And I mean this. I sit in a chair for about 18 years doing web development and now news. Thankfully, I've been able to keep in shape through bicycling and activities, weightlifting, and some nutrition. But there are times where I just get up from this chair and I'm just like, ah. And spine health is so important in order to feel lively, active, and also a little bit more intelligent. I feel that when Dr. Anna Marie adjusts my back, I feel a little bit smarter walking out of there, because the spine has a lot of influence, in my opinion, on the brain and overall brain health. If the spine isn't feeling healthy, it's going to send that signal to the brain. And that becomes a blocker for other things that the brain can be working on. For instance, rambling on this podcast for the last hour and a half, but hopefully it's not a ramble. The point is that Anna Marie is an amazing chiropractor, and you can catch her over at northrocklandschiro.com. I'm going to head over there right now. And you know why? Because I am going to book another appointment. She can take you for a brief appointment. It could be as simple as a 15-minute adjustment. On the flip side, they also offer something called craniosacral therapy. Packages are available. It's basically just kind of, and I can't describe this exactly, but it involves, your head region, and she's able to work with your head and neck to provide very soothing sensations so that you feel healthier in the head, skull, and neck region. So it's a very, very specific focus in that area. For me, I love getting my back adjusted, and the person that I consider my go-to is Dr. Anna Marie over at North Rockland Chiro. You can catch her on the web at northrocklandchiro.com. You can also give a call at 845-429-2663. And while I was speaking, I just booked my 15-minute appointment to get adjusted. We have a few more advertisers and sponsors and supporters that I want to thank. We're rounding the turn toward the end. The Pancake Factory, I mentioned before, the Stony Point Pancake Factory, is now a supporter of Rockland News. We appreciate you, especially considering that you have been hosting the Small Business Tuesday forums. Literally, time flies when you're having fun. For the last, I think, almost a year now, close to a year. Kudos to Julia Kushner from Keller Williams Realty for, of course, helping to facilitate those. Just absolutely awesome for doing that. And the Stony Point Pancake Factory is the facilitator. It's really cool. So basically all you got to do, you just hang out over at Stony Point Pancake Factory, 8:30 in the morning on Tuesdays, and we have these small business discussion forums where we talk about various matters specifically pertaining to small business in North Rockland. And we are expanding this. We're actually coming up with some live interactive board games. We literally bring fun, interesting games like Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I read, like about 15 years ago. And it's a fascinating book. And the board game that he and his family created, it used to cost $200 in order to get this board game. We picked it up for a cool $40. And we're playing this game at the Stony Point Pancake Factory over the summer for Small Business Tuesday. And thank you once again for the Stony Point Pancake Factory for facilitating that. I have two realtors to thank. First of all, I want to thank Lauren Molino Muller from Howard Hanna Rand Realty. Get a free guide to selling your home, the things that you should expect when you're preparing your home to be sold. You can catch her as an exclusive advertiser on Rockland's News in various sections. There's an entertainment section, and there also are local sections, like for instance, Clarkstown, Haverstraw, Orangetown, Ramapo, Stony Point, that you could check out. And Lauren Molino Muller, I know her for about 15 to 20 years now. And Lauren, it's like, wow, time flies, right? But really, thank you for being a supporter of Rockland's News. And it's great to watch. I'm not a realtor. What you're doing, you're obviously very busy over the last several years. And I hope you're getting enough time for taking it easy every once in a while, vacation, because you certainly deserve it. I also have another realtor to thank, Susan Bova. She is part of Coldwell Banker Realty. Susan hopped on as an advertiser for Rockland's News as well as AM Rockland several weeks ago. Thank you, Sean, for connecting and reaching out to Susan. And Susan, I know Susan for a few years. She actually was very helpful when my mom was planning on moving. So they communicated several times, and Susan was a calm, soothing voice for my mom. during a very stressful time. So I want to thank you, Susan, for providing that service for my mom. And it will not be forgotten. And again, thank you for supporting Rockland's News. You're really, really good person. And we just have so many really amazing advertisers that we've been able to kind of loop into AM Rockland, literally in the past 2 weeks. There's one more that I want to thank, and it's kind of a little bit, how do I put this? It's kind of coincidental, but not. It's really just correlations, and correlations don't equal causation. They really, that's I hold true to that rule, at least for me. St. Thomas Aquinas College. All right, now my name's Tom Thomas, but it's like I heard the word Thomas, and I'm like, gee, it'd be really cool if we could have them as a supporter of Rockland's News. Now we're going back several years. This is before AM Rocklands, which we're developing now. This is before the Rockland's News podcast, now with over 50 interviews from various elected officials, creatives, musicians, engineers, and really interesting people in Rockland County. This was back when Rockland's News was just a mere child. It grew up so quickly. But rocklandnews.com, that was our first Rockland News digital news property, and it has grown exponentially over the last several years. It's a little scary. I'm always aiming to make really good choices for the publication. I have to operate as CEO. I have to protect the organization, basically stand in front of the team and say, do not mess with us. But on the flip side, really want to listen and gather the information that we need to in order to deliver the news in an objective and Rocklands focused manner. St. Thomas Aquinas College was one of our first advertisers. We're going back several years. I don't even know the number. We've had the publication for 5 years. We developed it for a year or two, but really started bringing on advertisers about 3-4 years ago. St. Thomas Aquinas College was one of the first advertisers. And I can't explain it exactly. The only thing I can say is there's just too many coincidences in this life to not take a step back and observe it and appreciate it for what it is. And I'm looking at a quote that I have on my desk right now, and it's from Leonardo da Vinci, and it says, "Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art." And I firmly believe that after interacting with St. Thomas Aquinas College, and you can visit them on the web at stack.edu, after interacting with Stack for many years, and I'm going back 20 years. We did seminars over there back in the day. I used to drive my friend Greg to work. He was working in the next building over there, pursuing his master's degree just down the road. And really interesting activities. If I'm not mistaken, one of my colleagues graduated there with a nursing degree. And now they have a really interesting focus on technology. And if you think about the name, Stack, full stack developers can be developed over at Stack. But there's so many different educational disciplines that they've brought students into higher learning and higher education, higher levels of career attainment, and I think higher levels of really making this world a better place over at St. Thomas Aquinas College. And again, you can visit them on the web at stack.edu. They also are a supporter of Rockland's Music Fest. Next week, I'll be doing a meeting over at North Rockland High School. I'll be, unfortunately, blabbing with the students there. At some point, they're all going to tune me out. But before I do that, I'm going to thank the local colleges around here. And notably, St. Thomas Aquinas College has sponsored Rockland Music Fest. And the North Rockland students will get some interesting discounts if they decide to go over to Rockland Music Fest with literally 10 bands that are going to be performing over there. including Magical Mystery Doors, which is an amazing, amazing band. And it is St. Thomas Aquinas College that is offering those tickets at a discount thanks to their sponsorship of Rockland Music Fest. We also have a variety of advertisers over on the Rockland Music Fest side. I'm just going to mention one in particular that has helped to push this event forward, and that is Champlain Hudson Power Express. All right. Guys, if it wasn't for you, I'm saying this for the record, if it wasn't for you, obviously it's a little bit tense time at times, like putting this 337-mile pipeline from literally Canada all the way down to New York City. That's got to be just a little stressful on the infrastructure. It's obviously going to be an investment in terms of sustainable energy, as well as quite the revenue stream, I would imagine. But thank you for, as you're going through Rockland and, putting these pipes in the grounds, and again, sustainable energy coming from Canada. Thank you for leaving some investment money behind for various causes. For instance, $31 million for streetscape beautification and infrastructure by the various towns. Hopefully that will be used in an equitable, well, not just an equitable, but like, the most optimal, efficient, and effective, I should say, effective manner possible for all of Rocklanders, especially on these roads. My goodness, pothole, pothole, pothole. But let's try and get less of those happening because, hey, welcome to the jungle. But, Champlain Hudson Power Express, thank you for helping out with, leaving that investment money behind with the various towns and so on. And of course, finally, for supporting Rockland's Music Fest. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been able to get Magical Mystery Doors or really any of the other 10 bands. Most of them are local from Rockland. We got a few guys from Brooklyn and the Bronx coming up, really cool bands. But it's just going to be a really amazing, amazing show. So, in conclusion, and I'm amazed that sometimes I'm amazed that I am not wearing an oxygen mask after these ramblings that I talk about. So look, in conclusion, I want to just make this really nice and clear. 1, 2, 3. First of all, I want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters of Rockland's News. One, and you just heard all of them over the last 20 minutes without me even inhaling oxygen. Two, I want to thank you, the individuals that have listened into this show, primarily from Rockland. Obviously, we at Rockland's News are going through another transition phase in order to deliver the news in the morning that matters to you most in Rockland County. And I also want to finally thank our guests that have come onto the show. And, this isn't like, this is brand new to me. Yes, we've been doing the podcast for the last 4 years, but those are closed, safe environments where if we mess up, we just simply edit it out. It's a little bit different with a live stream. As I mentioned before, and musicians say this, live performance is the intersection between exhilaration and embarrassment. So if you can hang out in the pocket and do this and accept that every once in a while, like even the best musician, you're going to mess up once in a while. That is something that I enjoy exploring with the various guests on the show, such as John Ross, for instance, who was on the live stream this morning. He was talking about different ways that Rocklanders can be able to commute back and forth to locations. And we talked about the Haverstraw Ferry, new reopening for the summer. There's a schedule available online for the Haverstraw Ferry. We also had our first live guest as an elected official, tip of the spear, Mayor Michael Kohut from the village of Haverstraw. Really appreciative of you for being on the show. We had a really good conversation. My friend Mike Kluger, he was here on Wednesday. He showed up at 7:30 in the morning over to the studio office lab that we have here that we've been renovating very quickly in order to make this thing happen, showed up, and we had a really awesome conversation. I haven't even had a chance to take that podcast and put it together, but we're going to try and deploy it before we close out for the holiday weekend. So thank you to our the people that I've gotten the chance to interview, both in the podcast and also on the live stream now. Thank you to our many, many sponsors. And also, most importantly, thank you for supporting Rockland's News. You can catch all the news that matters to you most at rocklandsnews.com. The podcast is put out on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify several times a week. And brand new, we have AM Rockland at approximately 7:30 in the morning on weekdays, and we'll have really interesting guests. We're looking forward to having more elected officials on the show. For instance, County Executive Ed Day, Senator Bill Weber, hey, perhaps maybe even Congressman Mike Lawler. Let's hop on, let's talk about the issues, let's talk about it so we can make Rockland a better place. And as I mentioned, we're going to also have some co-hosts to take over the spot that I'm doing right now. This is my version of a filibuster, but bottom line, we are planting the flag for live streaming in the morning and letting you know exactly what is going to be happening in Rockland County, what has happened. You can catch all that news at rocklandnews.com. And bottom line, so that you can enjoy and also make informed, solid choices in Rockland County, New York. My name is Tom Osa. Thanks for hearing me out over the last hour and a half on this lovely Friday afternoon. Actually morning, it's 9:44 a.m. And I wish every one of you a great Memorial Day weekend. And remember, let's take a moment to honor those that have died in order to protect this great country that we live in. So we'll catch you on Tuesday around 7:30 in the morning. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care for now.